Hey guys, welcome back to the Tkinter tutorial by Uplatz. So in this tutorial, we are going to create a simple GUI calculator using the Tkinter module. So this calculator is fully functional. So in the previous lecture, we had a calculator model, the layout, but this tutorial will give you a complete details of how to create a calculator that is fully functional. Okay. So let's see how to create a simple GUI calculator. So first of all, you need to import everything from the Tkinter, correct? Using the star. Then create an interface for the calculator, that is the layout. Then create an input function that enters a number into the input field. We will create an input field using the entry widget. So that will input the function. Enters a number, then create an proper function that wipes everything from the input function, input field. So once the answer is shown to you, you need to clear the previous information, correct? So you need to define a function that clears everything. Finally, whenever you enter an expression in the entry widget, you need to have an evaluate function that computes and gives the result of the expression, correct? So let's start. So creating a calculator using GUI. Okay, so first you need to import everything from Tkinter. So for that, import star from Tkinter, import star. Now we have to have a variable called expression to access all the functions. This expression will have the access to all the functions. So first it will be empty. So we will have a empty string like this. Then now we will start creating the functions. So the first function is the input number. Okay. So the input number will have two arguments. The first is the number to be input, and the second one is the equation. So now we will make the expression global because every function can access the expression, correct? So we will write global expression. So the expression will have certain operations along with some numbers, correct? So everything should get added. That is the string concatenation here. So expression equals expression plus string of number. So for example, if the expression is 1 plus 2, so the expression plus string of 1, that is the expression becomes 1, then 1 plus string of the addition. Okay, now it becomes 1 plus. Finally, when we enter 2, it becomes 1 plus 2. Then we will use the set method, equation.set of expression. So what is equation? The complete 1 plus 2 becomes the equation, okay? And this equation we will use in the evaluation function. So this is the first function. Next is clear, to clear the equation. Now here we have to again make the expression as empty. So global expression and expression should become empty now. Now when everything is cleared, the calculator should show a message, enter the expression, okay? So that we will set as the equation using equation.set. In the bracket I will write enter the expression. Then if there is something wrong in the expression, so we will use a try and except block so that the user will get the result, the error, when he enters a wrong expression, okay? So that is try result equals evaluation of the expression. So here we are trying to evaluate the expression. So let's change the names properly. Let it become number and let it become equation. So we will change everywhere. Okay. So this is the try block, which will try to evaluate the expression. Now, if anything goes wrong, we will have to set the expression to empty. And use the except block. So equation dot set, enter a valid expression. So when something goes wrong, the expression will be set to empty and you will get a new message, enter a valid expression. Okay. Now these are the functions, the input, clear and evaluate function. Now we will start creating the GUI. So creating the GUI is quite simple. It takes less time because we just need to copy the code for all the buttons. So root equals tk. So we'll give a title. Then geometry. Then the equation in this program we have created is of string variable, correct? So we have to make it string variable. So this is the geometry. Then equation equals this is variable class instantiation. Equation equals string variable. Next, we will create a input field. We will create an input field for the expression. So this should be an entry widget. So input equals entry. So this should be on the root. And the text variable should be of equation. Text variable equals equation. So equation is the string variable. So text variable equals equation. So we are using the place function and we will set the height, and we will also use the grid position to arrange the widgets. So input dot grid, because the input field should be little wider, so we will use the grid function. Input dot grid. So column span equals 4. Then we need some internal padding for the input field. So we will write iPadX and iPadY. So anyway, the height is 100, so the iPadX can be 100, and the iPadY, the height internally should be 5. pixels. Okay. Now, at the beginning, when you open the calculator, it should tell you to enter the expression. So we will set the equation to this message, equation.set, enter the expression. So this is the first thing. Now we will start creating the buttons and placing them at proper positions. So we will create the button 1 with the text button. I mean, the text will be 1 on this button. So 1 equals button on the root. Text equals 1. Then foreground can be white, background can be black. Foreground is white, background is black. Then in the previous example, we have seen that we don't want the border width. So we'll set the border width to 0. That is BD equals 0. Then the very important is command. Command equals, so in the previous example, we have used lambda. We will use the same thing here. Lambda. What is the input function? We have written at the top. So let's see what is that function. So input, and it takes 2 arguments, correct? So it should take here 1 followed by the equation. Because the equation, we are setting it to the expression, correct? So if you enter 1 at the beginning, it will be 1. Then it will be combined with the expression, correct? So input 1 comma equation, then height is 2, width is 2, width is 7. Then we will use the grid function to align it. So 1 dot grid, row 2 column 0. So 1, 2, 3 buttons will be on the same row, but different columns, one after the other. So the first button will be row 2 column 0. Now we have created the first button, so we can just copy this and create the other buttons. Okay. Now let's rename the buttons. So this becomes 2. Then this becomes 3. 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. Then 9, 10, so we don't have 10, we have 0. Then we have the operations now, is plus, minus, multiplication and division. So let's copy. So this is plus, this is minus, plus, and plus dot grid, then minus, minus dot grid, then we have multiplication and division. then we have to create buttons for equal and clear, correct? Then clear function, clear button, okay. So these are the buttons we want. So now let's do the modifications inside. So we'll go to the first button. So now we will go to the second button. So we'll change the text first. This is 4. So this should be 3. This should be 4. Then 5, 6. Then 7, 8. 9, 0. Then this is plus and minus. This should be multiplication. Then division. This should be equals. And finally, the clear button, we will write the text clear.